All right, welcome to Cars and Machines. And what do we have here today? 2021 Toyota Camry Super White SE. This thing is the vanilla ice cream of family sedans. And that's not a bad thing. Personally, I like vanilla ice cream. Vanilla ice cream is always a consistent and reliable dish to have for dessert. You know why? Because with vanilla, you can always ensure that you're going to get the same taste. Yeah, it may taste different from brand to brand, but vanilla ice cream is going to give you that tried and true consistent vanilla flavor. Now, I know what you're saying. You may want to add some different combinations like nuts and swirls and strawberries, but then you get into mixtures of things that just create too much variation. The Toyota Camry is the vanilla ice cream of cars, and that's not a bad thing. You know why? Because it works. It's got that tried and true Toyota philosophy. Everything about this car says Toyota. The lines, they're safe, sleek, clean. The car looks fast, quite honestly. It's just not. This particular model is the SE, like I said before. It's got dual exhaust coming out. Looks like there's room for a potential quad exhaust. It's got the little 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine in it. Not very fast, but fast enough. I used to drive old Mustangs from the 90s and early 2000s, and on the way over here there was one I was keeping up with, and it was interesting to see how this little modern day sedan can keep up with an old school Mustang, but by modern standards you're not getting a fast car in any stretch of the word fast here. It looks sporty, it looks fast. I'm sure if you spent some extra dollars and upgraded to the sprinkles on top with the all-wheel drive version, you'd have some more fun. They've got the I believe there's the XSE package as well as the TRD package to go on top of it, which are both pretty nice packages. I really like the way this car looks. Like I said, it's vanilla ice cream. There's nothing about this car you're going to get that's an unexpected surprise where you're going to get it and say, wow, this is amazing. What you're going to get is you're going to get a car that's reliable, it's going to last you a while, and you're going to drive it for a long, long time. You want 200,000 miles out of a car? You want to be able to drive to and from work? You want to get your coffee? Throw a Mavic in there? I'm 6'4". This is my seating position. I always laugh because you can see the screws for the seat as you slide it back. But I find this, it's kind of like a 5 out of 10 in terms of the comfort scale for me. Personally, I don't think anyone's sitting behind me. One of the challenges I have is getting under that seat there. When I'm stepping on the brake, my my right leg has to take a little bit of a turn around the steering wheel so I can fit in there properly. It's kind of frustrating. After a while of sitting in traffic, my leg does start to hurt. My right hip feels a little uncomfortable from shifting over to that brake and kind of contorting to get to it. However, if I needed a car that was reliable and I didn't really want to spend a lot on gas, because this thing seems to be getting somewhere 27 to 30 miles per gallon. What I'm getting, I'm a heavy-footed driver, especially when I get into a little 4-cylinder. I like to hear things rev. I'm also used to driving V8s, so going down to something with a lot less torque, I've got to step on it to get that same feeling. But I'm sure you can get 30 miles a gallon to and from work if you're just driving down the road and really not stepping on it, looking to have fun. But like I said, there's a lot to be said about Toyota reliability, Toyota quality. This car is going to give you many, many, many miles of just, effortless reliability. You're going to change the oil. This tried and true 2.5 liter engine is a solid performer. It's been in Toyota lineup for quite a while and seems to be pretty solid. I believe this transmission is an 8-speed. You can shift it with the transmission. I've shifted it, seems to shift pretty similar, both with automatic and manual shift engaged. I don't know that I'd consider this a sports car or something worth engaging that manual shift unless you're looking to drop down and pass someone on the highway really quickly. That may be helpful. One of the things that's really cool about this car is got the shifting paddles. So I think at any point in time on that steering wheel, if you look in there closely, you see the paddle shifters on the steering wheel. One of the things that's really cool about this car is you can go ahead and shift manually to give yourself a quick boost on the highway. One of the things that's really nice, this car isn't that big, but there's quite a bit of trunk space. Apparently I rattled something loose back here. I don't know if I mentioned, this is not my car. I really don't believe in buying new cars. This is a 2021 model. I've got a new toy on the way, and I say toy, it's an old Yoda. I'm into old Yodas, that's right, old Yodas. If you don't know what that is, it's old Toyotas. So this is a new Yoda, but still quite the car. I'm not quite sure what this is. This is license plate bracket for looks like license plate bracket for the front of the car. I was back here somewhere and knocked that loose while driving like a maniac apparently. So yeah, trunk space is quite ample. If I was going on a weekend trip by myself, my wife, I don't know that my kids would fit in here with me, but if I was just a small family of 2 or 3, maybe I had the dogs with me or something, this would be perfect. Like I said, it's not something I'm gonna chalk up to a family of 4. Anyone, if you're 5'10" or over, you're probably not going to want this with your kids in car seats in the back because their legs are going to get cramped. My wife is 5'10", she can drive this, the kids can fit behind her, but like I said, that's kind of the limit right there. I'm 6'4", and my kids are definitely not fitting behind me. I can put the seat in a position to allow them to roll with me for a little bit, but I am not going on a 2-3 hour road trip. In fact, I drove home from the dealership, and 10 minutes into the ride, I didn't have the seat all the way back, and I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to drive this car. I pushed the seat back, and I said, there we go. So there would have been room for the kids at that point in time, but that's before I moved the seat. So like I said, there's a lot to be said about these smaller cars in terms of space, but then there's a lot to be said in terms of these smaller cars in terms of reliability, gas mileage, and longevity. That Toyota logo right on the front of the car lets you know you're going to have it for a while. The styling is probably not as advanced as some of the other cars, but definitely catching up to the modern day look and theme. I think the interior is pretty nice. The seats are leather, or I don't know, pleather, depending on the material. I haven't really looked it up, but nice little look in there. They kind of hug you really nicely. I'm not going to give all that much credit to how comfortable they are, but the dashboard is a really nice setup. Kind of modern look. I believe it's got Android Auto. I haven't really played with it in terms of apps and things like that, but like I said, it's pretty nice. Dashboard does not have automatic. It does not have the digital dashboard like some of the newer cars, which I personally like. I think digital dashboards just result in more to brake quicker in terms of long life and longevity of the vehicle. So I don't know. I personally would rather have old school knobs and dials and gears, things that I know will work for hundreds of thousands of miles if I choose it to, rather than a digital dash where I know I'm kind of cycling out cars every 60,000 miles, maybe 4 or 5 years, that kind of thing. But this, before everything goes completely digital, this is probably the one car I would get of the newer cars if I were getting a newer car. That being said, because this car is such a quality vehicle, I would not look at a new Toyota Camry. I would look at a Toyota Camry that's already kind of been broken in. Like I said, these cars are known for going 200,000 miles or more. My wife, when we first met, had a car. I remember we went out for night on the town and crossed 200,000 miles in her, I believe it was a 96 Toyota Camry, and this was in the late 2000s. So that being said, this car will be around for a while. So 15 years later, I wouldn't be surprised if this car is crossing 200,000 miles with some young 21, 22-year-olds in it that just bought it for a cheap price because it's all they could afford, but needed something that was reliable. So, like I said, you want to start your kids off with something right, get a Toyota Camry. You can't go wrong. And I would 100% suggest do not get a new one unless you absolutely need the features or want the features. Get something that can be upgraded, throw a radio in it, make it yours, make it fun. Toyota Camrys are a solid car, but this is a sweet looking car. If I was going to get a new family sedan, or I guess 4-door sedan for commuting to work daily, this would definitely be on top of my list. So like I said, vanilla ice cream, nothing wrong with it. You want the sprinkles, you go for that XSE. If you really want the sprinkles, get some whipped cream on top, and like I said, it's got the all-wheel drive. There's a TRD edition. These things get pretty nice looking. I'm not sure on the engine options, but I'd really hope a V6 or maybe a turbocharged 4 cylinders available, because that would make this car so much more interesting and attractive to buyers like me that are, in the dad bracket but still like to have something fast. I'm okay not going fast if I'm driving something that's a little bigger, like a Land Cruiser or a 4Runner or something like that. But like I said, if I'm going to be going, kind of that speed, I'd rather be driving something that's bigger rather than something that's smaller. If it's going to be smaller, it's got to be fast. So hopefully you like this. Check out Cars and Machines. Make sure you subscribe, like the channel. We'll be producing some more interesting content. Like I said, this is not my car. There is a new toy on the way. I'll give you a hint. This will be its playground. So stay tuned. Check you guys later. Cars and Machines, latest, greatest, coolest, all the fun, we have it here. Talk to you soon. Subscribe, like, follow, everything. Check us out. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.